Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Training Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, peeps, legends, and legendettes from around the world? It's trading time. Tech Giant Tuesday. Mike says, who loves you, Jeremy? We do. Woo! Back at you, brother. Feeling the love. Man, feels so good. So I love trading with all of you. It's a great experience every day, all the time. Today is Tuesday, so there's all kinds of good things to chat about and talk about and discuss, so strap in. First and foremost, we are looking at the broader markets. This is, of course, the SPY, ETF that tracks the S&P 500. And as we have a nice little trend here, we're just kind of hanging out for the most part, I feel like. Yeah, we're trading sideways. I mean, just the last 2 days. I'm trying to think what Square would do if we really just closed above here. I mean, if we get to close above here, I think we would just slowly keep grinding higher, most likely. I don't think that there's a necessary reason to think that we won't anyway. What's the end of day? Yeah, so today, technically, we still, even though it was a black candle, we still made higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, we still made higher highs and higher lows today. So close above 291.82. We'll slowly keep just grinding and keeping higher. Not much going on there. And that's about it. Here's the Dow Jones, DIA. Dow Jones ETF. We had, again, a white candle gapping up, retest gap. So 3 nice bullish candles, and right now we are pretty much at the top of the curve. So what we can experience and expect is kind of this previous all-time high right here. Right, previous all-time high. We made a new all-time high. That's where the newbies are hopping on bullish, and right now we're just kind of rotating down. And you probably still be expecting to buy a little bit of a dip once we start pulling into some of those moving averages. Most traders, I think, will probably be looking around those general areas to do something of that sort. Here's the Qs, and the Qs actually made a little bit of a higher high and a higher low with a bullish candle today. So that's still looking pretty relatively strong. And the IWM was pretty much flat as a pancake. You got 2 pennies away from a perfect doji. That was the summation of today's movement, I feel like, in the markets. I didn't take one day trade today because I really just did not see anything that I liked. No other reason than that. Pretty quiet day, but yeah, IWM is in Snoozeville. Population it. So it is hanging out. Yeah. So anyway, IWM, that's pretty much all we got. And here is, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to look at. No, I think that's about it. Rob says a whole heap of choppiness. Yep. So we're just still chopping around. We'll find out what's going to happen. But most things do look relatively like they're just in a slow, bullish trend. Obviously, one candle can change everything and anything. But this weekly chart, I mean, we're just right at the 10. This would be the picturesque time to get this, this, and this. I mean, so if we do get some good surging out of here or some good bouncing, then all should be just fine. So that's my thoughts on the broader markets. There are tons of stocks to look at today, though, so let's just go ahead and dive in and get these pulled up really quick. Moved over here. I think this is the list for today. And okay, so let's go check it out. First on the list, PDD. So PDD, this is one that my good buddy John up there in New York was looking at today. This is the daily chart. And I was kind of talking about this as a potential conservative approach because this stock did already have kind of its S-curve pattern. So you got the breakout here. This was a really, really pretty pennant pattern, triangle pattern. White candle gapping up, had this huge move, like 35% growth in 3 days. Nice curve into the new white soldier. A little bit of a higher high, a little bit of a bullish candle. Just hasn't pulled back yet. So PTD, if you're looking at it, the trend looks good. I mean, very short term. Only been around since mid-July. And yeah, I was looking at playing it. I probably would look to buy dips on this one. So no official swing trade on that yet, but we will, keep our eyes on it and see if anything cool ends up happening on this one. So that is that stock. Here is RHT. Ben says buy at 20. Yeah, 20 does sound a little bit better. All right, let's hop over to RHT. And Red Hat, what's really interesting on Red Hat is this gap down was a solid gap. And it traded right into the exact same support level that we bounced off of before. We started getting a little bit of a bounce. If I'm playing the 15-minute charts, let's see here. This is the kind of the 15-minute. It looks a little like a kind of a channel, pretty much. So if you're looking at the 15, or if you're looking at the hourly, here's the hourly. And it does seem kind of channel-esque. So you got a support resistance, something kind of like this. So if I was personally playing Red Hat, which I'm not, but some of you have been wanting to keep an eye on this one, I would really, if it breaks out, buy the dip of the breakout, or if it trades back down and kind of flashes a little bit lower, right? So some place where all of these stops start getting hit, that's probably where you'd buy, around 132. So what are those two areas? Could you short it between now and 132? Absolutely. It's going to get a little choppy because you can see some of the shorts have been fast and furious. So you're not going to get a whole heck of a lot of time. Like this one, right, just opened, ran, and that was it. So it's going to be a little bit slow on that one, but that's pretty much my thoughts on Red Hat. I do think eventually this gap down, though, does get filled. And here is, again, the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, obviously, if that's support, we close or break that support very strongly. Good chance we go lower. But since we bounced at this exact price before, if you're looking at playing Red Hat, I think you're probably looking at it with a little bit of a bullish perspective. DocuSign. Take us a little DOCU. And DocuSign, this pink line was me kind of saying we broke out previously at one particular point in time. So that was the bullish breakout on DocuSign, right? Now, when I say bullish breakout, we broke above and closed above this resistance over here. So a bunch of people thought we were going bullish, and then it had earnings, and it gapped down on earnings and pretty much traded down. And I was kind of hoping that it would break again into these lows, the same size that it had a false bullish breakout, because that would have been, and still would be, but would have been a really kind of a cool play. I forget the gentleman who was looking at, I forget the name of the gentleman who was looking at call options on DocuSign down here. But I do agree that this is a decent looking channel. And today you actually have a one white soldier, morning star type of pattern. So this is the one white soldier, and these three would be your morning star. So realistically, yeah, if you're looking at playing it, it probably would be a little bit on the bullish side. Turn off these long-term averages for a second. And yeah, you have a pretty okay support resistance at about this 53.75-ish area. So I would probably let it pop out and then retest. So it doesn't have to break out a lot, just maybe a 1 hour candle or something, and then let it retest and kind of buy that dip. But if you're looking at playing DocuSign, I do think you probably would keep an eye on a bullish play down here. It looks good, especially with a good gap. And the only thing that might slow you down is a 100 simple on the daily. That's brand new. just formed. Now, let's take the history, previous history. The last time we were down here, it could take a solid 2 months to go from here back up to 64. But we get a good gap or a good move on DocuSign, a little bit of a move higher, a little bit of a sideways move, and then a breakout. At least at these levels, I think you'd be looking for a long play, and knowing that direction and that sentiment might help you tremendously in your decision-making skills for what you want to do on DocuSign. My buddy George wanted to look at Broadcom AVGO. Oh, Broadcom, what are you doing? Looks like it's about to go higher. This is the weekly chart. Yeah, wow, look at Broadcom. Coming out of that 2009 crash debacle and crushing it. I have never played Broadcom, maybe on a day trade, but looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 structure to me, where the 4 hasn't come yet. 1, 2, 3. And inside that 3, I can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd probably say at this juncture, I'd love to see it pull back to about 240-ish, 235, something like that in this zone, and I would buy that dip if I was personally playing Broadcom, which I'm not. Just because I can't be in everything. But this gap on earnings, that was a very nice gap right here on the 7th of September. That was a good gap. Nice area, broke out, retested with this really gorgeous hammer. Yep, that's what I look to do on Broadcom. I'd look for that pullback into about 237.76. However, what is the big takeaway, since you do have this double bottom on a weekly, this large candle right here, if we take out the high of that candle, which it does look like we're going to, I think that, and I don't see any reason why it just can't slowly keep creeping higher. That's my thoughts on Broadcom. Next on the list, we have MELI, and this one's really interesting, MELI, at least I think recently. There's a few people playing this one, and we were posting some of this last week. Some people are keeping their eyes on MELI because the premium is slowly evaporating. Well, let me rephrase. The implied volatility was really getting high on MELI like a week ago. And there's a few people in this trade, all kinds of different things. So this 270 put sale, I'm most likely just going to keep holding. The bid ask definitely dropped earlier today, and I think maybe tomorrow I will let you all know. I'll probably end up buying this one out, buying to close it later, probably this week. So there was a one trader who's also here, George, who did a I think like a 450 call sale and a 210 put sale for November. Naked strangle. And that is wide, which means if this thing drops, which it certainly could, this one's going to be good to go. And then, of course, is it going to drop 100 points or 30% between now and the end of November? Certainly possible, but you do have that 100 simple moving average. And this is a pretty fast-paced, high-growing company. Some people call it the Amazon of Central America, South America. We will see. But I'm probably going to end up buying this put sale back sometime this week. Earlier today, it was at about half. And we'll see if I can get a chance to get out, just buy to close, lock in a little bit of a gain, and then, move on. But if you are selling the implied volatility on it, I understand. And there was tons of implied, just tons of wild movement throughout here. So yeah, I'd probably, if you're doing anything on MELI, some traders are getting into just a super, super solid, longer term call sales and put sales soaking up that implied volatility. Because again, if it does run up into 400, that'll be a little bit of resistance. But most likely, I think kind of worst case scenario, you get something like this. I mean, we trade down, bounce around, something like this. I have no idea if and when that'll happen, but I think that's probably worst case scenario. Benjamin says, careful with option spreads. They are crazy. Yep, that's why I would advise selling them on MELI. So if you're playing options, I wouldn't buy them. I would sell them. High implied volatility, large bid-ask spreads. Take it from there. Okay, that is MELI, and that's what I got. Next on the list is Symantec, SYMC. SYMC. And what I was looking for on this one was possibly a swing trade. Now, to get a really good perspective of Symantec, look at this. This is a monthly chart. Monthly chart. So you are stuck right in the middle of the 100 and 200 simple moving average, but it does really appear to be a pretty solid spot to be buying SYMC. The only thing to contend with is that 100 on a monthly. So I do like the gap. It was a gap up. It's a retest gap. It's filling the gap right now. I'm going to Mr. Squiggles this pretty strong and see if it does something like that. And we're going to come back to it next week. Okay, let me put this one on the list. Monday, Tuesday, SYMC. So just know that I'm watching that one for a play, bullish. Yeah, I like the gap. It looks like there's a lot of upside potential on this one, just looking at the technical charts. We'll see how it interacts with the 100. I'll plan it. We'll come back to it. Nothing right now. Next is HEAR, Turtle Beach. And Turtle Beach, strong possibility still for a weekly options newsletter, which is coming out later today. If you did play some puts on this pullback, right, on this bearish S-curve, if you played that, congrats. If you haven't, you might get an opportunity from the weekly options newsletter. We'll see. But pretty much just going to plan on a breakdown of that support right there. And that's really about it. I think most traders, Jennifer played this one for a quick gain, and Brian Weber sold some puts and bought those back. I can't remember where Drake sold his put sales or not, but I don't really remember. So Drake, if you'll let me know, I'll put you on the list. But here's your weekly moving averages. It just looks a little on the weaker side to me. So I'd be planning on, and I do plan on playing Turtle Beach on the bearish side. Can't short it, so I'd probably just do it with puts. And it's probably better that way anyway, because this one has some major volatility in it, and you could always see some type of weird gap or something, and don't really want to be in shares if it gaps over you. But if you play options, I think that'll be at least a smidge safer. We will see. Watching it closely, some people playing that one, having fun. Eventbrite, ticker symbol EB. So Eventbrite did post that morning star pattern. I was talking about that yesterday. And this is the 15-minute chart on Eventbrite. So it looks to me like, my aggressive traders, you are going to want to keep your eyes peeled for some Eventbrite action tomorrow. Maybe as a day trade, maybe as a swing trade, something like this. I'm going to jot it down for tomorrow. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow a lot. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Wednesday morning, Eventbrite. Could be a swing trade. This is kind of aggressive. It could be a day trade. I'll probably day trade it. Here's the hourly. And again, since it is so brand new, I do want to swing trade it. And if it looks pretty tomorrow, we might take a stab at it. It's just going to be a little aggressive. I realize that. But coming into the end of the month, my goal is just to keep it thin in the month with a gain, because it has been a tough month. September's been a fun little challenge. Oh, not even at 4 Rs yet, but we do have some unrealized gains. We'll see what we do. We will figure it out. But going to come back to Eventbrite. We'll see if we end up playing this one as a swing trade maybe tomorrow, and or day trade the next 2-3 days. All right. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. EB. Okay, on to Applied Optoelectronics. AAOI. So this is what I was looking at yesterday. I wanted it to be an inside day candle today. That's what I was kind of hoping. Because again, coming towards into the end of the month, I want to do my absolute best to lock in a gain. Don't want to have too many open positions coming to the end of the month. But this one does not look bad. I'm going to come back and look at this one sometime tomorrow. And if we make a new high and then we can get a little bit of a pullback, I think we should be good for a little bit of a dip buying opportunity on Applied Optoelectronics. I'm really just planning to trade that one into the 200, maybe a little bit farther. But again, this weekly chart looks cute. Huge sell-off. Right, we traded, we broke the 200. This is where all the newbies went short, and then they got squeezed out of here. And then this is where all the newbies went long, and they got squeezed out of here. So now I think this is the time where we're looking down here to keep an eye on a bullish play on Applied Optoelectronics. It would be a little bit more of an aggressive play on like the hourly 15-minute, but yeah, we're gonna come back to that one tomorrow and see if we end up pulling the trigger. Here's Disney. So Disney with a little bit of a pop today, made a new higher high. I think I honestly just missed that setup. If it pulls back to 112, which is totally fine, I think it'd be a good buying opportunity, but I should have gotten in on yesterday. I just didn't plan it realistically. So when this gap happened, this move right here, oops, sorry, wrong drawing tool. This gap right here, I did again. Where is my, there we go. This candle gapping up. So what happened, it was a good gap, it filled the gap, and then it started showing some life. So again, this is on the 15-minute chart. And when I put this one on the list, it was right around here. When I put it on the list, because that's really where I wanted to buy it. Because that is a beautiful, beautiful S-curve. So pretty, right? Boom, boom. And then you get a high wave candle, inside candle, bullish breakup, inside candle. And all of those highs are almost identical. Boom, 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 boom. So again, you get that just very pretty S-curve. Again, it was on a bullish gap and go. It was a good trend. It is a good trend, still in a bullish trend. I think we'll get a chance to buy Disney again, but for a swing trade, but there are a few of you already in for some longer term plays anyway, so well done. I like this breakout on Disney, and I do think this is the start of a magical experience on Disney. I think by the end of 2019, we're going to see it into the 140s. Almost, yeah. I thought about making a bet about Disney, but I realized that I actually don't like going to Disney. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay. I think that's it. I could put some, let me put a measured move. Let's do that. That'll excite some people. Where do I draw this? Hope it doesn't come out goofy looking. Let me draw this into here. It really is going to be like this area. And then I want to make it kind of like a dark green. No border though. All right, and kind of make it a little bit darker. Okay. So here we go. And if this is a true breakout, should be right about there. Disney on the verge of magic for the Bulls. I do believe this is a nice buying spot for a longer term play on Disney. I've mentioned this before. Those charts are attached below. But this would be the measured move for this stock. Okay. Trend, chart patterns. Falco says, I did sell a covered call today, 118 October. All right, man. Cool. So Disney, let me kind of find where this was. Bull put spread. It used to pull it up so nicely that only stocks with the word DIS, like the tags, would come up. I don't know why it does all these other ones. So there was this. I think that was the last one. DIS. A lot of bull put spreads on this one. I think that's it. Okay. Boom, boom, tags, DIS. Okay. So loading that one, we'll put Falco's covered call on here. And that's the analysis. All right, cool. And so again, for those who have shares, congrats. I know there's a few of you. Shares and leaps. And I'm going to put mid-2019. Late Q1 2019. And then I'm going to put Falco's 118 October covered call. At least you sold it today, though, because you were going to sell yesterday. So that's always good. 118 Falco October. Justin says that's a nice aerial view of Disney on the monthly. That's right. Good covered call spot, though, Falco. I think you should be good to go on those. Nice triangle. I don't know. We'll see. Cool deal, team. Okay, next on the list is FireEye. F-E-Y-E. And FireEye, we did get triggered in today. And I did post in Slack earlier today that since we got triggered into FireEye, I wanted to remove some risk on some other trades. We can easily talk about those in just a few moments. I'll move this over here, move this over here. Okay. So bottom line, we got triggered into FireEye. I don't know, I like it. So cool. 2 hours on FireEye is 1856. This is just a bill paying trade. And so if it hits that, I'm just gonna go and throw that target in there. It does seem kind of far away, 1856, but if this thing really gets going, I do like the volume. Bill has a covered call at 18 for 929. Oh, that's this Friday. Oh, you're good to go, man. Let me put you on the list for Friday. FireEye, noted. So, Bill, I will put you on the list, put you on the chart, I should say. But I do not think you will have an issue with that covered call. I mean, I kind of, in a way, hope you do, because that would be great for both of us. Covered call will be this Friday. Thanks, bud. Good to know. And that's really it on FireEye. We'll move that stop and everything probably next week, most likely. So the stocks that I wanted to kind of just cover, I did post them in Slack, was Twitter and Marvel. Twitter and Marvel. So here's MRVL. And Marvel, my plan was to get out of this one anyway. So I noted that if it doesn't close above 1912 by the end of day Tuesday, I'll look to bail early. Didn't do that. Right, it gapped up and just traded down. I should have exited at open. Thought about it because that's what pretty much everyone else did. Now that doesn't mean that this is a bad trade. We're still perfectly on the 100 simple on a weekly chart. I would not be surprised if Marvel does really start screaming. But I had to, well, I didn't have to, but the risk out there coming into the end of the month, I could tell that Marvel wasn't working by the end of September. And anyway, took the L, a very small L on Marvel. And I think I can come back and we can look at that again on Friday and just see what it ends up doing. But since it's all based on risk, I said, okay, which one of my trades then can I exit to make more than what I lost on Marvel? And that was Twitter. So Twitter gapped up, and I was hoping it would just kind of slowly keep creeping lower, and it didn't. And so I exited Twitter to pay for the loss on Marvel and then some. So on Twitter, made about 0.53 Rs. On Marvel, lost about 0.14 and some change. So almost a half an hour net on the day. And that's really why I did it. It wasn't super strong. That's pretty much about it. So small gain on Twitter. The green arrow was just kind of pointing to the price where I got out. And so that's it. Twitter and Marvel, those two are off. Now the rest, we still have Alaska Airlines. CarGuru did have a little bit of a pop. So we might as well just go look at those since we're talking about them. Here's CarGuru, CARG, and I do like this higher upper shadow. Everything looks really good. So I hope we can close above this price soon. If we close above here, that should be game on. Bullish end of day close. So we're already in. I'm just saying if we close above 56.16, I mean, she should just keep on rocking. I'm going to leave it alone until Thursday. We're up around an R on it. And 2 Rs actually is not that far away. 2 Rs is kind of like right up here. 56 and some change. But if it closes above there and this thing goes a little bit higher, we might be able to get 3 Rs on this trade. Ben says, can probably move your stop below the bullish candle. No. I think I will come Thursday. Because, again, Thursday is pretty much the end of the month. It's also going to be Transportation Thursday. So that's where I will determine, do I move the stop and hold, or do I lock in profits? And since this month has been pretty meager, I'm probably going to do my best just to lock in those gains, most of them on Friday, and carry maybe 1 or 2 swing trades over into October and to start a new month. So today's Tuesday. I'm going to give it 2 more days. Hopefully she will run. But if she closes above 56.16, that's just going to be me telling the chart it should continue higher, but I'm going to leave it alone until Thursday. Yeah, that's what we got. That's CarGurus. So we just throw some of these on the list. Where were we? All right, CARG, Twitter, Marvel. And then we're going to go look at Macy's. Macy's, this is the weekly options play, and it's not working. So, cool. Thanks, Ben, for helping me stay in this one. I figured I would, though. I wasn't going to exit. But, yeah, I still like that. I like the lower lows. I like the trends. So we most likely will move the stop on Macy's at some point in the day. Tomorrow, well, I'll be sending out the weekly options newsletter later today. And we'll be moving the stop up on Macy's probably to like 60 cents or something. just to lose less than an R unless something kind of crazy happens. But right now, looks good. Hoping for a good volume, plunge, surge, something. If we trade down to here, we should hit our 2 Rs almost without question. So that would be a nice win if we can get it. We are up right now, but also meagerly on Macy's. Okay, let's go look at some of these big names. What time is it? 4:35. We're doing good. Apple. So Apple just kept bouncing off this half an R price at 217. Apparently 217 was legit. So Ray, I think, still has his put sale at 217.50, I believe, for this Friday. I mean, I can't argue the bullishness on Apple long term. It's a great company. They just made $9 million after I pulled up their chart. That's how much money they've made. They just made another $1 million now. They just made another $1 million now. So I like the candle. I like the trend. If you bought at least half an R off that position, just let it keep chopping around. So it does appear that this is some kind of wave 4, most likely. And we'll continue to just kind of bounce around. Some people have some shares. Some people have calls. Ram says he made 0.8 Rs today on Apple. Nice job, buddy. Very well done. Here's the hourly. And hourly looks like a really cute double bottom. Cute double bottom. And then we got ourselves a nice little pennant pattern right about there. So if this thing breaks higher tomorrow, I would not be shocked by that event at all. Tony, so did they announce something with Salesforce? I did not see that news, if they did. It's certainly possible. If you want to send me something, if you found it or read it, it wouldn't surprise me. I think it's a pretty good partnership. I do not know for sure. If they did, I think it'd be good for both parties. So yeah, I like this little high. I like these moves. I like this candle on Apple, and I think it could kind of start continuing and just continue its overall general trend right now. Ricky says, yeah, Apple. Yeah, brah. Tony says, oh, look, I quickly saw it on CNBC, so who knows the validity? I hear that. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so that's Apple. Ram, I can put that on the list for tomorrow. All right. Falco says, yeah, they're partnering with Apple, something about Siri and business to business on Salesforce. Here's Tony's post. Let's pull this up. Salesforce and Apple partnership makes sales even more attractive, not denying that. Cloud-based, see the cloud-based customer relationship management offer new apps and for iPhones and iPads. Salesforce and Apple said on Monday that the partnership will initially focus on a redesigned Salesforce mobile app exclusively for iOS. That's cool. That's cool. I think that's better for Salesforce than Apple. I don't think it's anything specific for Apple because Apple's awesome anyway. Nothing major, but good news for Salesforce. That I agree with. There are some people in Salesforce. I thought it was on the list, but I guess not. So appreciate the insight, Tones. That's going to help people make a lot of money on CRM. I love these two candles. I'm putting Salesforce on my list tomorrow morning. That looks like it's going to fly. That just super small candle. If it breaks that, it's gone. We might see 200 by the end of the year on Salesforce. That is not a bad thing. Good bullish engulfing candle. And again, the CEO bought time, spent billions, and no one cared. So that's why I had that mention, that protective put. I was like, hey, if you want to protect yourself for a few days, just in case something radical happens, right? Now you could probably, if it makes a higher high, I would just sell the protective put or sell puts against it to lower its cost, however you want to do it. But yeah, that's what we got on Salesforce. Okay, Netflix. No volatility at all recently on Netflix. Pretty boring of a stock. Hashtag joke. Hashtag that's sarcasm. Hashtag volatility is everywhere. Hashtag what the heck is Netflix doing? I haven't traded Netflix in a few days now, and pretty much I'm just waiting for it to do something. And whatever it does, I'm probably not going to trust it anyway. But it's coiling. Pressure is coiling. I'm totally fine being wrong on Netflix because there are a few of you in shares and leaps. George is in a naked strangle. Dean has some put sales. A few other people have some put sales. I'm fine with whatever happens on Netflix. But this downward trend line, the fact that we broke out of that, it's a big deal. And I like this inside candle on Netflix. So if at any point in time we can get a close above the red line, which we have not done in a few weeks and months really, that would be a good bullish signal for me. And you probably won't have tons of time. It might just be 1 or 2 days. Probably flash up here, might even make a new all-time high, and then it will roll down again. And we'll start forming a nice, fun channel, most likely. Here's the weekly. Weekly, you had a bearish high wave candle last week, which is probably my favorite candle, because this candle tells me if we close up or down or close above or below that wick, that's most likely the direction that we're going to kind of run into for a bit. So yep, I'm cool with that on Netflix. I like the move. And again, I am okay to be wrong because I said it's going to hit 300 before earnings back here when it started waterfalling. And does it look like I'm going to be correct? The good news is, since I probably won't be right unless something weird happens, I'm going to be hosting a webinar where I'm going to be paying for 2 of you to have a entirely free Netflix subscription for a whole year on me. Sharon says, what number is the red line? Red line is 373 and some change. Linderman says, the red line looks like an inverted head and shoulders and elbows. It does. That it does. Okay. That's Netflix. Here's Facebook. Facebook, ticker symbol FB, wicked pair candle. Inside day candle on Facebook. Inside day, such a tease. So again, if you are in some protective puts, you're sleeping better at night. 164.36. If you bought some protective puts there, that's fine. We talked about it literally on Friday that would probably gap down and trade higher. That's exactly what it's done. I'm just letting everyone know the big number is 159.70. Until we close below there, I will assume that Facebook is going to bounce down at this area. Once we close below there, I will be a perma bear on Facebook until proven wrong. Tony says, these candles from today, I'm going to have to take some melatonin to sleep. Yeah, I hear you, man. Some nice bullish pressure building there on Facebook. And a gap out of here will be the easiest retest gap in the world and will almost likely surge. So the weekly long terms, we're still bouncing off of it. And Falco says something about the monthly. Monthly 20, nice. Monthly 20. I like it. Yes, we will see, my friends. Again, I still plan on it bouncing at these prices unless it closes below that level. AMD is doing fun things. Here's AMD. This is the monthly chart on AMD. No big deal. Daily chart, I mean, we bounced off the 10, made a little bit of a higher high and a higher low. This is late 2018 target. late 2018. Nope, it's never bounced off the 10 before. That is the first time ever that AMD has done that. And what we're looking at this particular point in time is it trade down to it and bounce again. So if you're playing this, you probably want to zoom into the hourly because the trend is a power uptrend. I mean, it is strong. In fact, let me zoom into the 1 minute chart to see if my buddy Steve made money on AMD today. He is a scalping aficionado. Turn the pre-market on. Yep, he did. I bet he did. Took this pre-market breakout right here for 10 cents, wrote it up. Nice job. Good job, Steve. Anyway, so AMD. Sorry, let me go back to the hourly. If you're playing this one, if I turn the pre-market off, you really do want another shot at it. You're going to want to buy it off the 100 on the, it's about $30.50. And if it trades sideways, this is the price. If you're looking at going bullish, if it breaks above 32.94, you shouldn't really have any issues with AMD continuing higher. Strong trend. BABA. BABA. So BABA, not much happening. It's trying its best to bounce. There are some people with put sales down at this particular price. I get it. Here's your long-term 100. She's trying to bounce, very similar to Facebook. And if you got shares or longer-term put sales, just kind of be patient. It's still a little bit scary. Not scary may not be the right word, but with the tariffs and everything, BABA will still be affected. JD still has the potential to be affected, but at some point, once all that news is swept under the rug, it's like, okay, this is how it's going to be. Let's see how the companies react going forward. I kind of like this candle, and I don't have anything on BABA right now. I would say just be cautious with it. Day trading, it's been a little bit weird. Go do the opposite of what everything is going to do. That's kind of been my experience on BABA over the last 2 weeks. If it gaps up, trade it down. If it gaps down, trade it up. That's really it. If you're in long, stay long. I like that 100. Here's ALB. ALB, beautiful pullback. What is this doing? So this is the weekly chart on ALB. Hit the 100. Got Mike Tyson right in the left ear. And then now it's pulling back some. A lot of white candles in a row. Obvious pullback spot. If I were going long, I'd probably go long around probably the high of these candles. 167. Something like this. So there's your support resistance. Bingo, bongo, wave 3, wave 4, buy the dip. So yeah, around 100, decent little pullback. That would be try number 1. And if that doesn't work, then you're probably going to resort to a little bit of a lower buy, a buy low, a Food Lion down here around 90.62. All right, here's Tilray, TLRY. Pulling up this chart like you guys think I know what it's doing. Your guess is as good as mine. No clue. Literally, it's actually a joke. I have no idea what this thing's going to do on any given day at this point. It was at 300 like 3 days ago. So who the heck knows? It is an inside day, and it is gapping up post-market. You still can't short it, and options are still insanely expensive. So play it bullish for day trades. I mean, I'm fine with that. If you're playing it bullish, take it day trades on it, or just be really cautious. Most likely, moves like this almost always have a quick drop, a quick pop, and then another quick drop. That's how those double tops are made. So if you want to dance with the devil in the moonlight, play it bullish for a few weeks, let it run up higher, and then again, something like this is probably almost a certainty at this level. That's pretty much it. Most patterns do exactly that. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to be day trading it, or if you swing trade it, that's also fine. Just have your risk in place. Yeah. Okay, that's Tilray. That's all I got. Here's DPZ, Domino's. Domino's. Saucy. Look at this pullback to the 100. Domino's is beating Papa John's right now. Look at that share price. Paying dividends. Can't go wrong with pizza. Domino's. Gosh, what an idiot. How did I not buy something at 20? Ugh. What a dum-dum. I mean, I know how they make money. I do like Domino's. I haven't eaten Domino's pizza in a legit 2 years. Trying to look like Ricky Cadan. Can't do that eating pizza. It's hard. Anyway, I don't know what to say on Domino's. If you bought it down here, great. If you didn't buy Domino's, buy a dip probably into 284.33. Ram says your line colors of Domino's. It's very true. Black and white. Didn't ever think about that until right now. George says, who won that blind taste test you did a couple years ago? Domino's. Yep, Domino's, man. In case anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, what George's talking about, Papa John's versus Domino's, real life trading. And videos probably won't even come up. I'm doing something. I'm typing in something wrong. Let's do it on YouTube. I know exactly where to go. Okay. Creator Studio. Just want to go to playlist. Could have done that a lot faster, I'm sure. And then products. Products. There we go. And let's go find Papa John's. That was a delicious. Domino's versus Papa John's. There you go. So I'll throw it in the chat page in case anybody wants to check that out. And that was March 2016. So let's see how much money I could have made off of that trade. I did say buy shares in that. Yep. Oh, good old, a cool 130% return. No big deal. Wow. Good stuff. Buy the dip on Domino's. Estee Lauder, ticker symbol EL. EL had a good gap on the daily chart not too long ago. That gap was on this day, which was the 20th of September. And now it's pulling back. I'm trying to think of the weekly chart. I'd prefer to play Estee Lauder bullish off of 135 because that's just a little bit cheaper. Yeah, I mean, unless I'm playing something on the hourly, I'd probably want to buy a dip into these moving averages, like 140. And if that one doesn't work, then I would like to buy it off of 136. That's pretty much it on Estee Lauder. I do like the gap, and then it played higher. If it can close above 146, that trend could start getting going again. But this was really a pretty nice spot to buy down here. Yep, I tried to buy it at 140. If that one doesn't work, tried it like 136 exactly. And if that one doesn't work, wait, give it some time, and then come back later. Dollar Tree. DLTR on the daily, hanging out, weekly hanging out. It's going super sideways. Yep. In between both the 100 and 200 simple. I'd probably play dominoes bullish to neutral, which means I would get in with option sales, like a put sale, where I would buy shares and do a covered call. Right now, I just don't see a whole heck of a lot that I love, bullish or bearish. If you're playing it bearish, here's a support resistance, and you look for a close below this price, which is about 83.86, 83.80, something like that. You would look for a close below if you're playing Dollar Tree, DLTR. So that's pretty much all I would do on Dollar Tree. Weekly, again, long-term moving averages, 100, 200, it's just really sideways. I'd probably pass on that one as far as a directional trade's concerned. Microsoft, chilling. I mean, it closed above 113.87. My notes was back on the pink line. This was worst case scenario. And then I mentioned if it closed above 113.87, just let it continue. So the trend looks good, and if you're in Microsoft, thumbs up. I would just stay in Microsoft. I'm really seeing no reason to bail right now. I like that candle, a break higher, and that one's just going to keep on chug-a-lugging. Chug-a-lug. Microsoft, pretty. All right, everyone's favorite stock today was Square. Square, you dirty dog. You dirty, dirty dog. Man, that's ridiculous. Because the best part is I truly wanted to buy Square, as I was talking about on Friday when we got exercise, in that gap. I had a few orders down here and missed every single one of them. Every single one. Now, congratulations for the traders who did put sales. That's beautiful news. I just got so close, but yet so far away. And how high does Square go at this point, folks? I just don't know. Looks like we're just going to keep going. I wouldn't fight that trend. I wouldn't play anything bearish. And if you have shares from this point, just keep holding them. Yes, it is a retest gap, and yes, it very well could retest. But at this particular price, in fact, you guys make the wager, whatever it is, but I don't think we close below here until earnings. Or even in between now and earnings, you know? So I think we're just going to keep going higher. Trend looks great. I know it sounds weird, but this is the S-curve right here. This is it. So at this point, if we get another one, let me just draw that fresh. Buy the dip, especially on a swing trade or hourly chart, and just keep playing it. Obviously, the hourly, it just ran all day long. All day long. Nonstop. Yep, buy the dip, Square, looks solid. It's going to hit 100 without question, triple digits, and that'll be that on Square. 3 left. Here's Plug, PLUG. Bob's requesting this one. Here's the weekly chart. I was looking at Plug not too long ago. You're right on top of the 100, 200 simple. The good news on Plug, since you are squeezing and consolidating, if at some point it can close above $2.07, I think that would give it a little bit of power to run up into about the mid threes. Here's the monthly chart. And the monthly, we're about to hit the 100 at 242, which is the last time we hit it. We got absolutely wrecked. So I'm thinking on Plug, most likely it's a dud. And even if it does close above 207, it'll run into 242, and it probably will get Mike Tyson once again. 2 left. Micron Technology, not really doing anything that exciting. Very pretty inside day candle, and this is a gorgeous pennant pattern. Boom, boom. This could break in any direction. I'm cool in any direction it breaks. If it breaks down, I'll be buying some protective puts with a close below, with a break below 42.98. And if it closes below there, then I'll buy some more. Might even day trade it with a break below this support right here if it gaps down. But if it gaps up on Micron, everyone will be excited. Which one's going to happen? Do not know. Don't know. But the weekly, you got that inside candle, even though it's only Tuesday. Falco and a few others still have some put sales. Got a $53 covered call for October. Time will tell, my friends. Time will tell. And last but not least is another beast, Amazon, up 2.8%. Very beautiful pullback to the 50. I hope some of you bought it off of the 50. That was kind of the plan for a while. It was just a buy off the 50. If you did, that was the dip. This is a retest gap on Amazon and a pullback and then a dip buy. And we should see Amazon trade into the trillion. And then that's when things will get a little topsy-turvy for it, I think. I think it'll be really big news on Amazon. They'll do something like this. And then that's when we start really just chopping around. So I'm not saying Amazon's going to zero by any means. I'm just simply saying up in these areas, I think it makes a lot of sense to get and experience some chop, a little bit of a distribution phase, and then we can continue higher. Type in a 1 if you want me to blow your mind a little bit on Amazon. Just a little bit. Because there's a lot of people who are saying the term overvalued on Amazon. Here's some quick math for you folks. This thing grows at 30% per year, their revenues. So this stock is still growing at 30% per year, which means what? What does that mean? That means that it's going to double in about 4 years. Like the company size will double in 4 years. Now, that might not seem like an impressive thing, but I could easily see Amazon at $4,000 a share if they don't do a split. And not only that, but that means Jeff Bezos will be worth $250 billion. Right now, he's worth about $125 billion. He will also double his value as well. That will happen in 4 years. That's just math. At this point, it's unstoppable. It has happened. So as far as Amazon being overvalued or whatever, that's fine. We can keep saying that, and of course it'll have pullbacks, but it's gonna keep going. Ricky says $250 billion net worth. LOL. Yeah, $250 billion. All right, that's pretty much it. Any questions? Hopefully it splits at some point, yes. And if it splits, it'll go down a little bit in value for 2-3 weeks, and then it's just going to get absolutely just rampage. Rampage Jackson. Tim Thurman says, that's Falco money. That's what I'm saying. Tomorrow is Energy Wednesday. Here is what we're looking at tomorrow. Anything else you want to throw on the list? BP, McDonald's, RIG, ticker symbol I, Roku, Wix, Dropbox, Enphase Energy, CGC, Gold, AAL. All right, team. I'm going to be here, same time, same place. And until then, love life, live life, and treat it. You all rock. Bye-bye.